Ever felt a chill run down your spine for no reason? Or heard a strange noise in an empty house? The United States is a land of vast landscapes and vibrant cities, but it also holds some incredibly spooky tales. From desolate roads to haunted hotels, every corner seems to have its own ghost story. Today, we're diving deep into some of the most bone-chilling horror stories America has to offer. So, turn down the lights, get comfortable, and prepare to be spooked. Let's start our journey in the sunny state of California at the Hotel del Coronado. This beautiful Victorian beachfront resort is famous for its luxury, but it's also known for its most famous spectral resident, Kate Morgan. In 1892, Kate checked into the hotel under a fake name, waiting for a lover who never showed up. A few days later, she was found dead on the steps leading to the beach. Ever since, guests and staff have reported bizarre occurrences. Lights flicker, TVs turn on and off by themselves, and objects move on their own. People have felt sudden cold spots and smelled strange perfumes in the room she once occupied. Some have even seen the apparition of a woman in Victorian clothing roaming the hallways. Is it Kate, forever waiting for her lost love? The hotel doesn't shy away from its haunted history. They even embrace it. But a stay in her former room is definitely not for the faint of heart. Next, we travel east to a place where history and hauntings are deeply intertwined. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. The site of the Civil War's bloodiest battle is considered one of the most haunted places in America. With over 50,000 casualties, it's no surprise that the battlefield is said to be teeming with restless spirits. Visitors and paranormal investigators have captured photos of strange mists, heard phantom cannon fire, and the cries of soldiers in the dead of night. One of the most famous haunted spots is Devil's Den, a rocky hill used by Confederate sharpshooters. People claim to see apparitions of soldiers here, and many have reported their cameras and electronic devices malfunctioning for no reason. It's as if the energy of the battle is imprinted on the land itself, replaying tragic moments for eternity. Imagine walking through those fields at dusk, knowing the ground beneath your feet was soaked in so much sorrow. Let's head down south to Louisiana, to a place shrouded in mystery and dark legends, the Myrtles Plantation. Often called one of America's most haunted homes, this antebellum plantation has a grim history. The most famous ghost is Chloe, an enslaved woman who, according to legend, was punished for eavesdropping. In an act of revenge, she allegedly baked a poisoned cake. The plan went horribly wrong, and the plantation owner's wife and 2 daughters died. Chloe was then hanged by fellow enslaved people. Her spirit is said to wander the property, wearing a green turban, and has even been supposedly caught in a photograph. But Chloe isn't the only ghost Visitors have reported seeing ghostly children playing on the veranda, hearing phantom footsteps on the stairs, and even being tucked into bed by an unseen force. The plantation now operates as a bed and breakfast, inviting brave souls to spend the night. Would you dare? Now, let's venture into the dense woods of New Jersey, home to a creature that has terrified residents for centuries, the Jersey Devil. The legend dates back to 1735. A woman known as Mother Leeds, already with 12 children, cursed her 13th, crying out for the devil to take it. When the child was born, it was said to be a monstrous creature with leathery wings, a goat's head, and hooves. It let out a terrifying scream, flew up the chimney, and disappeared into the pine barrens. For nearly 300 years since, people have reported seeing this terrifying beast. There have been thousands of sightings. In 1909, a week of mass hysteria swept the region when thousands of people claimed to see the creature. It was spotted attacking a trolley car, frightening social clubs, and leaving strange tracks in the snow. To this day, hikers and campers in the Pine Barrens report hearing unearthly screams and catching glimpses of a winged figure in the dark. Real or folklore, the story of the Jersey Devil is a staple of American horror. Our next stop takes us to a place of isolation and despair. Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary in San Francisco Bay, known as The Rock. This maximum security prison housed some of America's most notorious criminals, including Al Capone. The conditions were harsh, and the psychological toll on inmates was immense. It's no wonder the prison is considered a hotbed of paranormal activity. After it closed in 1963, tales of hauntings began to surface. Park rangers and visitors have heard phantom cell doors slamming shut, screams and cries echoing through the empty cell blocks, and the faint sound of banjo music, said to be Al Capone practicing in his cell. The D block, where prisoners were sent for solitary confinement, is particularly active. People report feeling an intense, bone-chilling cold and a sense of overwhelming dread. Some have even seen shadowy figures lurking in the cells. It seems the misery of Alcatraz has left a permanent stain, and the spirits of its inmates are serving a sentence that never ends. From a prison to a family home, our journey takes us to Villisca, Iowa. In 1912, this small, quiet town was shaken by a horrific, unsolved crime. The 6 members of the Moore family and 2 young house guests were found murdered in their beds, bludgeoned with an axe. The killer was never identified, leaving a dark cloud over the town forever. The house where the murders took place is now known as the Villisca Axe Murder House, and it's a site of intense paranormal activity. Visitors on tours have heard the disembodied voices of children seen objects move, and even been pushed or scratched by unseen hands. Overnight, paranormal investigators have captured audio recordings of voices saying, "Get out," and the faint cries of a child. The prevailing theory is that the spirits of the Moore family and their young guests forever reliving the terror of that night. It's a truly tragic and terrifying haunting. Let's move to Savannah, Georgia, a city known for its southern charm and its many, many ghosts. One of the most haunted locations is the Moon River Brewing Company. Before, it was a pub. The building served as a hotel in the 1800s. It saw its share of violence and death, including skirmishes during the Civil War. Today, patrons and staff report plenty of spooky encounters. The most famous ghost is said to haunt the basement. He's known for being a bit of a troublemaker, pushing people and throwing things. On the upper floors, people have seen a spectral lady in white, often spotted on the staircase. Glasses fly off shelves, doors open and close on their own, and phantom footsteps are a common occurrence. The brewery has been featured on numerous paranormal investigation shows, and the evidence they've collected is pretty compelling. So, next time you're in Savannah, you can grab a pint and maybe have a close encounter of the spooky kind. Our next story comes from the desert Southwest, along a desolate stretch of road in Arizona. It's the legend of the Slaughterhouse Canyon Ghost. The story goes that back in the 19th century, a poor family lived in a shack in the canyon. The father went to search for food and never returned. Driven mad by starvation, the mother murdered her children and then threw herself into the nearby river. Her anguished cries are said to echo through the canyon to this day. Drivers who pass through at night report hearing a woman's blood-curdling screams. Some have even seen a ghostly figure in a white dress walking along the side of the road, only for her to vanish when they get closer. It's a heartbreaking tale that has turned a remote canyon into a place of local legend and fear. A place you probably wouldn't want to break down in after dark. Finally, we head to Estes Park, Colorado, to the inspiration for one of the most famous horror stories of all time, the Stanley Hotel. This grand hotel is what inspired Stephen King to write The Shining, after he and his wife stayed there as the only guests just before its winter closure. But the hotel had a reputation for being haunted long before the book. The original owners, Freeland and Flora Stanley, are said to roam the grounds as benevolent spirits. Flora can sometimes be heard playing the piano in the music room, and Mr. Stanley is often seen in the billiard room and the bar. The most active area, however, is the fourth floor, which was once the servants' quarters. Guests report hearing children running and laughing in the hallways, even when no children are present. Room 217, where Stephen King stayed, is particularly famous for its paranormal activity. Maids report their work being undone, with clothes being unpacked and put away. It's a place where the veil between worlds seems particularly thin. From coast to coast, these stories remind us that sometimes the past doesn't stay buried. Whether they are the echoes of tragic events or something else entirely, these tales have become part of the American landscape. They chill us, they intrigue us, and they make us wonder about what lies just beyond our sight. What do you think? Are these just stories, or is there something more to them? Thanks for joining me on this spooky tour of the USA. If you enjoyed these stories and want to hear more chilling tales from around the world, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Stay safe and try not to think too much about that noise you just heard. See you next time.